Hi everyone, welcome back to episode number 2 on Blickling Farm. So today I've got a couple of things that I'd like to get on with. First one is I'd like to take this back to the shop and I want to kind of get rid of it as I've bought a smaller one. Because if you remember the sizes of the fields that we own, try and get a better view of them. It's number 1 and number 2 and then 19 and 18, so they're not relatively too big. So what we might as well get rid of this one and just downsize for the time being, and we can always, go up to the bigger ones. So we'll start off with that, and then while I'm taking that down there, I shall explain to you what the plan is for the rest of the episode. So yesterday I finished up field 2, not field 2, sorry, field 1, seeding that field with the soybeans. Using Courseplay, so that's all done. So it's now all planted. So now I'm just going down to the shop, so give us a chance to have a look at the map as well while we drive through, and it gives you guys a little look at the map as well. So let's zoom out a bit. Oh, driving into the hedge. So how have we all been then? We're doing all right. It's been a bit of a bad day today with the weather. It's not been the best weather in the world, I must admit, but that's just how it goes. Right, so I'm just going to come back in cab because quite a lot of trees and things around, and I've got that mod installed with the no collision, so you just end up going straight through the middle of them all the time and you can't see where you're going, which can be a bit frustrating. So the shop's just along here to the right hand side. So oh, it's not that, it's just after this. So come on, tractor. It's just here. Right, so we'll pop in here and we will put the fertilizer spreader in here. And we'll detach it and we'll just drive forward a little bit. And we'll jump out and we'll spin around and sell this. Cool, so we're going to get 60 grand back for it, so that's alright. And I've bought that one over here, which is, I know it's a smaller one, but like I said, it's a bit better, I think, for the size. It's got a decent size spread on it. That's a bigger planter that we've got as well for when we start with the bigger fields. And then I went and bought this weeder. Like I say, we'll use that in the next few episodes. There's no rush. I have also washed the JCB and the Vardestart 6000S, I think it was, because after that little session in the field with the seeding, it did get a bit messy and a bit muddy. So we've sorted that out. And the other thing is, the reason that I'm getting this fertilizer spreader as opposed to the big one is I'm going to be able to now show you how to do the Courseplay on the actual field itself with the course, as well as the course to go and refill the fertilizer spreader. I found out that I had some of the settings wrong in the options in the game. I had them all set to buy, so it was buying the seed when we were seeding yesterday. It was buying them from the account. It was charging us per seed or whatever the case is. So I've changed it to off. So now it's going to use whatever we have within the implement, whether it be the seeder or the fertilizer spreader. We're now going to have that use the AI or the worker is going to use that instead of using the money to buy it all the time. So the trick I've learnt really is, I want to take it slow around here, it's bumpy. The trick I've learnt with this is when it comes to recording the refilling course, there's the JCB and the Vardestart. what I do is I do the course for the actual field first, the field work side of it. I do all that first, and then what I do after that is I will set the worker, well, I won't set the worker going, but I won't, as you noticed, I didn't fill up my fertilizer spreader fully. I only filled it to 15%. So that's going to give them the opportunity to come and refill it. So once I've done the course for the field, I will then save that course and then delete it from, well, clear it off the dash, and then make another course for the refill point, which goes from the field back to here, and then back to the field again. Now, unfortunately, from what I remember, there is another way to get around, but we've got to go all the way around. Tell you what we'll do, just for this episode, we'll just cut through the field that we did yesterday, that we seeded. You know, just for like purpose of demonstrate. Oh, we can't. Right, what we'll do is we'll cut through and drive around the edge as close as I can to the edge. Just to get us round there, and then once we're around there, I'll do the course and everything properly. So yeah, to those people that left some comments in yesterday's video, I really do appreciate them. You know, some good supporters there, some familiar names, Martin, etc. Martin Doyle, thank you very much. You know, you've been there from near enough day one, to be honest, and that's awesome. Right, so here is field number 2. As you can see from the mini map there, we've just driven onto it, so it's not a huge field really. So what I would like to do is find a spot that's relatively flat. So we'll take a trip down to the bottom, and actually we might be able to do it in this corner here because it looks fairly flat over here. Yeah, like I said, Courseplay can be a bit funny. So, well, yeah, this is perfect. So the way Courseplay works is, like I said yesterday, right, we'll just stop here because I can't see him. Right. So you bring up Courseplay by either left clicking or I think it's left shift and delete. Let's just double check. Yeah, left control, my apologies. Left control and delete key. That will bring up this menu that you see here. So what we're wanting to do is we want our hired worker to be able to follow some sort of course on this field number 2 here. So down the bottom here, you've got a variety of different things that you can choose, like grain transport's the first, combi mode, which is like it'll empty your combine. It tells you empty combine and offload. The next one's empty combine and offload to a trailer, so that would be used with like an auger wagon or an overloader. The next one is fertilize and seeding. Now that's the one we're going to choose, so we'll click on it. The one after that is drive from start to finish, so that would be ideal for something like, you know, a course from the farmyard to the actual shop or maybe somewhere else. And what it'll do is it'll just set off and it'll drive to that point and it will stop when it reaches the end. Fieldwork mode, that's anything like combine work to ploughing, cultivating, weeding, things like that. Slurry, anything to do like that. The next one, that's like a combine mode sort of thing. The next one is liquid transportation. So you could set up runs to sell liquid manure and things like that. Slurry, you know, that's the one that you would choose. The next one would be your filling empty shovel settings for your front loaders. And the newest one that's added, obviously because of all the silage and leveling and compacting that you can do now in the game, that's one there. So you can set up a tractor or a front loader to, while you're harvesting or doing your, you know, your crop and stuff like that, when you're dropping it off, you can dump it at the front of the silo, the silo pit, and the actual Courseplay driver will wait for you if you set it to that, to wait till you're out the way, and then he'll proceed to then go and start pushing the pile that you've just dropped off there back into the actual silo pit, and you know, you then don't have to do that, he'll do it. So getting back to this field here, field number 2. So like I said, we want, I'll put it on that one, we want the fertilize and seeding, so it's the one there. So you want to click that and you want to make sure it's green. If it's not green, if it's white, it's not selected. Make sure that one's selected. Then what you want to do is on the top bar here, I'll explain these to you in due course, but you want to go to this one here on the right hand side, the one that looks like a snake. That is your course generations tab. Now this is the tab where you're going to give the GPS, you could say, all the information about this field. So the field edge path is, and you can use the middle mouse button to scroll, we're going to be on field 2, as you can see here. Now the working width, we'll double check that from the shop, or we'll go into the garage and we'll double check it. It's 12 meters. And it's already selected 12 meters, but if it's got something different, just click the calculator and it'll automatically select the correct working width. Now the starting corner, as you can see, the way this works is it's north, east, south and west, right? The way I remember it is never eat slimy worms, or you know, something along those lines. So we're along the bottom, so that's going to be the south, and then we're on this corner, so it's the southwest corner. So starting corner is southwest. Now usually 9 times out of 10 Courseplay gets it right anyway, which is something new that I've seen recently, especially in FS17 as opposed to 15, where you had to figure it out. Now your starting direction is the direction on which you want to travel forward. Now we're wanting to go north, and it selects north. Now return to the first point. I briefly touched on this yesterday. Now this means where the tractor finishes, it will return to the point where it starts, just here. It will not go anywhere else. It won't stop at the end of the course. It'll come back to here. So yes, it can be quite handy if, you know, if there is only one entrance in and out and it happens to be a tight entrance, and you don't want to then get to the opposite side of the field and then have to try turn around and come back. So that's what we do there. So we'll leave it as it is because we don't really need to kind of have him go anywhere specific. And the headland, we won't bother with that because we're literally in limit. Actually, do we want a headland? No, we'll be okay. We'll leave it for now. And then what you want to do, once you've put all that information in, you want to click that button there. So you click that, and it'll actually then go ahead and make a temporary course. So we can make it come up. So what it's going to do is it's going to want us to go and pull over up to there, right in front of us, just there. That's where we're going to start. So we can actually drive the tractor towards that point. Okay, so we'll do that. Now he's going to then go and drive towards that. So before we do all that, click that to go off again. Is it this one? Yeah, you go to that one. I always make sure 4-wheel drive is activated, just in case you get stuck somewhere along the line. Then what you want to do is go back to this one here once you've created it all and save that. So I always say field 2, 12 meter, fert. So that means it's field number 2, 12 meter width, and it's fertilizer. And you push enter, and that will save it just there. So now you can get rid of that for the time being, and we will now just shoot over to here. Just close that for the time being. Now this is going to be the cost that we're going to record for the trip back to refill the fertilizer spreader. So what we'll do is we'll just stop there. We'll bring up the recording tool. Now this one you can pretty much just go onto the drive from start to finish, because it's going to be just a loop. Or I don't know. I can't remember. I think it's just that middle one anyway. So then we just click on it, and it'll do that where you get the little sign. You can then click that X to close that, and then you can still see what you're doing. So I need to get my map up again. So we want to go this way, and we want to try and figure out a way out of here without complicating Courseplay too much. Is it possible? Yeah, so we're gonna want to pull in here. Sometimes it gets a bit tight for Courseplay and it can't manage it, but 9 times out of 10 it does just fine. Luckily we're not pulling a big trailer or anything like that, so we're alright. Cool, so we're out of that bit, so now we're just going to head back down here. And because there's no traffic on, we'll just head out. So I'm not going to really obey all the rules of the road as such. I mean, I will put beacons and things on, but I'm not going to bother with that for now because Courseplay will do all that for us. So this is just to give you a quick, a quick lowdown on how I use Courseplay. So like I said, we just head back to the farm, and there's a bit of a long way around, but we'll do it. So that's one of the drop-off points, one of the sell points. So we just come past and come back up here. And then we'll probably come onto like another little main road, which will be near the bottom of the shop, so it's not too far away. But just to fill something up, it seems a bit of a long-winded trip. But I suppose that we're going the wrong way. We've got to go this way. That was a bit embarrassing. Wrong way. Wrong way. What's going on here? What's going on here? Oh dear. Well, we'll just drive past and ignore it. We don't want to be causing chaos. So that's the shop there. So like I say, it's not too far away. And what we'll do is we'll then drive back. Yeah, we'll drive back the other way. And we'll go down that way. Just to give you guys the other view of it. Now, unfortunately, I think that when we load this and the other course into it, it might actually want to drive this course itself just to double check that it is a valid course. It will do it from time to time, but that's just how they go. I mean, I've been rambling on that much and we've hardly got nothing done. And I'm already at like nearly 20 minutes. That's not good, guys. I do apologise. So we might run a bit longer on this one, just because I want to show you how the course works and everything else. So you'll just swing in here. I need to remember just stay wide of that. There's like big bumps here. And then I'll come in here. See, there's a massive ditch here, so I'll swing around there. Because now then that Courseplay should hopefully miss that as well. Because bumps like that can put Courseplay off. Courseplay is very sensitive. Right, so what we'll do is we'll just pull in there like that now. And then Courseplay should recognize the tipping point and we'll drive past. And then we'll turn around. And then we'll head back out, but we'll take a trip this way. So yeah, looking at the poll that I put up yesterday on yesterday's episode, it looks like the time lapse with music seems to be the #1. I'm thinking I might leave that to run for another couple of days or another couple of episodes at least, and we shall see how it gets on. So I don't want to just jump to it because I want to give people a chance to possibly watch the video first to kind of get an idea. But yeah, it's one thing about this map I have found is it can get very bumpy. especially when you're driving the you know, the bigger equipment, the faster equipment. It can get a bit hairy when you're driving down here at like 30-40 mile an hour, and then you hit a big bump and it just completely throws you off. Right, so we want to take a right down here. So we'll just do that. See what I mean? It's crazy. All this to fill that thing up. Crazy. Do you know, that actually makes me think, should we possibly in the future just make a big like grass way up? What's that in the distance that I can see over there? What's going on here? Hey, we're at Sunshine Bakers, or Sunshine Bakery, Norfolk. Okay. Someone's house is on fire, guys. Somebody's house is actually on fire. What is going on? Just realised we're on the road with an implement. I don't have my hazards on. What is going on here actually? Grid run. Well, you did a great job there, mate. What happened, mate? Do we know? Doesn't look like he's speaking. Oh, bit of lag there. That's not good. Right, so this is not looking good at all. Excuse me. What happened? I don't know what happened here. Nobody's talking, so sorry, I just jumped over the front of your car. Right, we'll carry on. So you just carry on then, and we'll make our way back down to field number 2 where it says Gunton Hall. Gunton Hall, that's where we're headed, guys. So yeah, nice little tractor. There is a few nice little bits here. It's got a bit of IC control, you know, you can open the side windows and stuff. I'll show you. We'll just pull over because I don't want to do it. Open that one. Open that one, but you can also open that, but I don't want to drive like that because I might break it. You know, my look at these things are not very good. But yeah, it's about it. So we're nearly there. So that's the big orange roof, and that's where we're going, guys. So as you can see there, you can see the other markers from when we drove back out at the beginning. So we'll just basically go the opposite way to them and try not get stuck anywhere. See what I mean? It's just we're gonna have to go this way, unfortunately. But it's fine because we know where we're going, so we can cut that bit. I'll go back in, and then we'll swing back around here, and we'll just stop it just there. So then you bring that back up by left clicking, and you click on stop. For this, you just want to type field 2, Fert refill farm, right? Then you can get rid of it, and now what you want to do is you want to go to the world. Get rid of that. Now, can I get rid of it? There you go. Sorry, I thought I'd lost it then. Get rid of that. Field 2. So we've got the field 2 12 meter Fert. So that's the one that we want to do first, really. So you want to click on the load course /merge into load course. So you click that, and it'll come up there. but you want to make sure you're in that setting, okay? You've got to be in that setting for it to work. Then what you can do is you can go back to the world. So it's now going to know that you want to do the course, that you want to drive the course that was originally set up on this one. Then you want to go to the field to Fert refill farm, the course that we set for the A to B to refill it, and you want to append that to that course to the end, and that's the one that you click there with the little plus arrow in the folder. Now that will combine the two courses together and create one course. So you go start at first point. Now it's entirely up to you if you want to save this course as the field 2 12 meter plus refill Fert. So then you know for yourself that this is the 12 meter course and the fertilizing course at the same time, all in the same course. But we won't do that for the purpose of this. So we'll just drive the course. Now what he's going to do is he'll go and he'll drive to that first point. Once he gets there, he will then proceed to turn the implement on and make a start on the field. So what I'm going to do is I might just let him start here, and what I will do is I'll time lapse the rest of this. Is he going to get stuck in that edge now? See, this is something else with Courseplay. So what you do is if he gets stuck, you stop him. Obviously turn that off, otherwise he's going to use it all. So you just want to kind of get him sort of lined up so he can kind of just drive there, and then you click drive again and he'll make his way straight forward and carry on we go. So as you can see, he's now doing that quite nicely. So yes, like I was saying, I'm going to probably time lapse this. I'll throw a nice bit of music in there. I don't know what yet, but we'll find out. And once he's finished doing this, what I will do then is we will end the episode by heading back to the farm. And then we'll probably, like I said, we'll end the video there. Now, is he going to get stuck here or is he going to reverse? He's doing a good job now. He's reversing. He's figured it out. He says, hang on a minute. If I go too far forward, I can get stuck on a bush. I mean, a tractor of that size, guys, let's be honest, he could just go straight through that. I wouldn't even think about it. Right, so he's doing his little job great there, so I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you at the end of this field. Well, I thought I was going to time lapse this, but it looks like we're not. But what I'll do is I'll still time lapse it, but it looks like our Mr. Driver is going to have to go off and get some seeds. So I'll pop us back into the cab, and I'm not touching the steering wheel at all. This is the course that we made. He's driving this completely on his own, so we'll leave him to it, and we'll see if he can refill. Obviously, if we can't refill it for some reason, I will have to come back on and just explain why. That's to do with tip points and tip triggers, I should say, or just trigger points, refill points, and things like that in general. So we'll take a look when we get down there. So I'll see you in a minute. is back, and you can see that it's actually working pretty fine. You know, what I might do is I might just call it a day there, and we will continue this bit tomorrow. The rest of this field tomorrow, we will finish that tomorrow, and we will then make a start on seeding the field tomorrow as well. So guys, from my side, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please hit that like button, and if you didn't, hit the dislike button. But you know, if there's anything that you want me to do, or anything that you'd like to see do differently, put it in the comment section below. And also don't forget to vote in the poll that I've put up with the question of what would you guys like to see more of. So again, thank you all very much for watching. I'm going to go now. This is McSTALLION YT. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.